things to do with your video. So your parents paid for your video. Now you owe them some time. So I think you need to both find 50 schools. It's going to take you probably 8 hours, but it's only fair. Try to find 40 schools that are in our state, because as soon as you leave the state, it's probably an extra $10,000 for out-of-state tuition. So get your schools, send them this link with maybe a paragraph of who you are, why you like them, and maybe why they would like you. I use certain words. I'll say like, you're really high on my radar, maybe I could be on yours. So if you take this video and you send it to 4 schools, I just don't like your odds. If you send it to 50 schools, I would think at least 17 would respond. And of the 17, maybe 3 make you some kind of interest or offer. And that's really all you need to get started, because as soon as you get an offer from somebody, everybody who they play against wants to know who you are. And what they mean by that is, if I'm a head coach and our opponents are recruiting you, I'm going to go to my recruiting coordinator and say, do we need to go see this player? Meaning, if this player beats us 2 years from now, I might fire you because you don't know who the person is. Go do your job. And if they've seen you and don't like you, I'm okay with that, but I want to make sure they know who you are. But that starts the interest. So knowing that, don't let anyone feel uninteresting to you. So even if you're thinking to yourself, like, I went to Pitt. So Penn State makes you an offer, you're thinking, I'm not going to Penn State, I'm a Pitt person. But listen to the offer, and yes, I've been dreaming about going to Penn State my whole life, because it lets them know I'm interested in you as well. Don't grade yourself. And here's what I mean. So you send out these videos, people are going to start responding, people are going to come watch you play. So I asked somebody like, how'd your game go? We had 7 schools show up to the game, and I went 4 for 4. It was awesome. I was so excited. We got pizza when we were done. It was a great night. That's really good. Talked to the coach. Coach, what'd you see? Well, first at bat, the pitcher was not very fast at all, and they were late. They flared it in the right field. Ground ball to second base. The second baseman missed it. And I saw a single up the middle on my left. You got anybody else? They have no interest from what they saw, but the player's excited because they went 4 for 4. Next player, how'd you do? Sent out my videos, I got 11 teams show up to my game. I went 0 for 3 and I struck out. I couldn't believe it. Coach, what'd you see? That batter, first at bat we saw 15 pitches. 2 foul balls down the line that were over 300 feet. Unbelievable. Second at bat, ground out to second base, 2.9 down the line. Flying. Haven't seen that in years. Third at bat, the umpire rings them up on strike 3. It might have been the worst call we've seen in a couple of years. It was awful. She picks up her glove, goes to shortstop, turns a double play within 2 minutes. Didn't bother her at all. We love that player. We want her. When's she playing next? We're going to make her an offer. So the point is, what you see, maybe judging, is not what they're judging. So a scout may ask another scout to go watch a player play, like they'll do this in baseball. And they'll say, get there before the bus gets there. We want to see this kid get off the bus. If he's got the hat on backwards and the earring in, the shirt's untucked, you can leave. Go to this other school. We're looking for number 12. Watch him. If he sits next to number 6, this number 6, he got a DUI last week, and we think he's selling drugs. And if they sit together, you can leave. But you said this is like the best player around. There's a lot of good players. We don't need to find problems. Go watch this catcher. Best catcher in the Whitfields. Don't waste your time on the game. No one's stealing in that game. They're crazy. But get there for the pregame and videotape that. I want to see that, because I know that arm's unbelievable. But how many people really want to run on you in the game? That avoids them from running. So they're looking at things that you don't really understand. Now, let everybody realize that you're very interested, and you may get some offers you don't even like. So one coach says, like, we want you to be a preferred walk-on. That means after they pick the team and they open up tryouts to the school, you'll be high on that list. So you could politely say, like, I'm sorry, coach, but that's not really even an offer. Or you can say, thank you very much. We're going to go home and talk about it as a family. Because now you get a scholarship to Notre Dame. And the Notre Dame coach just left. They got a job in Georgia. So now the new coach they just hired is that old coach that you said, like, hey, coach, that wasn't even an offer. What are you talking about? So now you sit down with the new coach and says, do you remember me? Because I remember you. You can leave now because I'm not interested. Or they're going to say, I always liked you. And now I know why you didn't call me back, because you were in the Notre Dame. So don't burn any bridges in this process, because college coaches move around a lot, and you don't want that to be something that could hurt you. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the process, and sometimes that's hard. But find out about the school. So maybe once you get a little bit more serious about a school, go to their camp. That's an opportunity to see them in action. So you may meet me here and say, oh, nice guy, I really like him, but then you watch me coach and say, ooh, that guy's real rough. I don't want to play for that coach for 4 years. So it'd be a good opportunity for you to see that. Maybe ask a senior there, if you could do this again, would you come back to this school? Yeah, that's fair. I got an opportunity. Find out when they practice. If they practice at 6 in the morning, you probably want to know that before you get there, if that doesn't work for you. Do they practice at 8 at night? When you wake up, where do you go eat breakfast? Sounds silly, but if you're going to walk a mile and a half in the snow and you're at Notre Dame, it gets a little old. So you'd see these things and think, I would definitely do it, but then that's your daily life. Are you allowed to have a car there as a freshman? Do they have tutors if I need one? Are tutors mandatory? That'd be awesome. It'd help you. Because what you're trying to do in playing a college sport is you're trying to say, I want to be different. And to be different, you have to be different. So what I suggest for you to do is, you got to do all this hard work, but you want to go to sleep at night realizing, I didn't do anything to ever mess this up. So how do you do that? Do you stay in your closet for the next 2 years of your life? No. You should have more fun in the next 4 years of your life than you're probably going to have the rest of your life, to tell you the truth. But it's got to be in a way that you know, I didn't mess this up. So go find people that want what you want. Because you're on a good team, you are good by association. You're at a party, you didn't do anything wrong, you're a good friend, you're going to drive your friend home. That party gets busted, you are guilty by association. So it just can't happen, because this opportunity will go away. So maybe it's not a softball player, maybe it's a basketball player or a volleyball player, but if you hang around people that want what you want, this is a lot easier and fun. See if they have your major. Would you go to this school if you didn't play softball? How far is this school from my house? From my front door to that front door? If your parents can't go there and back in the same day, then it's far. My one daughter was in Moorhead, Kentucky. That was too far. We tried it once, but that's too far. It was like, we could have been at the beach instead. It was 10 hours. 5 hours there, 5 hours back. Hour and a half, 2 hours, we did it in the same day. What grade is the person that plays my position? What year are they in school? If you're a catcher and they're a year older than you, it's a constant battle. Don't be afraid to commit. Somebody told me this in recruiting. They said, when we go on vacation on Monday, we say, I got a pocket full of money. What do you want to do? Want to get a boat? We can go jet skiing? We can go to a nice dinner. On Friday, we're going to stay here and eat pizza because I have no money left. My pockets are empty. Because at the end, recruiting is the same way. If they offer you something early, it's probably going to be better than later, because at the end, there's not as much money. Go somewhere where you think they want you the most. That definitely helps. All right? This is hard for you, and you need your parents' help, if you ask me. I have a lot of parents say, it's their decision, we let them make it. But $100,000 or $30,000 to them is the same number. They don't understand. So let them help you through it. Do you have a job? You work anywhere? Do you have friends at work? They made like $10 an hour. Would that be a good thing? High school kid? If you keep doing what you're doing for an extra hour every day for school, I'm thinking you get an extra $10,000 every year for academics. Your grades are unbelievable. You put an extra hour a day into softball and running and throwing and swinging, that could help you get $10,000 a year for softball. That's $20,000 a year for 4 years. So your friend that's got this good job that was saying, hey, I would do that. I just told you, if you say you do this for 150 days, 150 hours of school and your job, it's 300 hours. You could earn $80,000 in 300 hours, and you could make $266 an hour. Is that a little better than your friend? Does that make sense to you? This is your job. You're going to work the rest of your life. Let this be your job. And then parents obviously just enjoy it. And that's hard to do. Because there's nothing they love more than you. And when my son was in 10th grade, I remember trying to give him a little help. There was a bunch of scouts there, and I was saying, like, hey, drive your back leg. and he went from the bench to on deck to batting up his next two at bats. And I was like, do you know the batting order? Yeah. Well, why aren't you on deck? You're out there. I'm just trying to help. So I kept my mouth shut until I realized the next day we were in the exact same situation, a bunch of scouts, and I realized there's a lot of stress on him. He had an article in the paper. There's a bunch of scouts here watching him, and I'm adding to the problem. So only then did I realize, after like praying about it the night before, what should I say? And I said, hey, you want a Powerade? Sure. What color you want? I'll take a red one. And everything kind of changed. And that just came to me at like the last second. So they got enough going on. It'd be like giving them a tip walking into the SAT test. It's a little bit too late. Enjoy the moment. And remember, they're not looking at what you're looking at. They're grading things like when you get off that bus, who you're warming up with, how you react to your teammates. They're all important. I told my kids this. My oldest son got drafted out of high school. He played for the Diamondbacks in the minor leagues. My oldest daughter cheered for, it's called Team USA. So I have 4 kids, 2 boys, 2 girls, and they all played in college. But just kind of enjoy that moment. Don't let it be stressful. And if you do your push-ups and do your sit-ups and say your prayers at night, God will take care of it. All right? Thanks. Thank you. Do you have any questions?